Hey everyone, Evan here at the Chronicle for July 27th, 2020, where the future starts today. A few things I'm going to cover here quick. First, this article was from CNBC a couple of days ago. Landlords are encouraged to think creatively as 28 million Americans face eviction. Quick update on this. In the latest quote-unquote stimulus package coming out of Washington, I know there's an extension they've actually agreed to on the eviction moratorium. I have no idea what it is. If I do find out more, I'll link it both in the community tab on YouTube, and I'll also put a link to that in the description box below. Now, the study that's in this article is the what the F moment of the day. There was a study done by the American Apartment Owners Association back in May. Nearly 60% of landlords said that tenants are unable to pay rent because of the coronavirus, and 80% said they're willing to work with these renters. Math is a little off somewhere. My translation on it, in the bigger cities, rents are going down. That's how I interpret it, but anyways. And in the last part here, as I said, the eviction moratorium is being extended. I have no idea for how. I'll keep you posted if I do find out more. Enough on that. The second thing I'm going to cover, this was from a few days ago on BNN Bloomberg. Credit card firms warn losses coming with white-collar job cuts. And what it says is delinquencies are going down. They're prepared for them to go back up because there's a second wave of job losses. As I mentioned on Twitter a couple of months ago, they're now heading up the C-suite. Now, one point I mention here, my buddy Mike Martins did a very in-depth analysis of this article on his channel. I'll leave a link to that video in the description box below. All I'm going to add is what the credit card companies are preparing for is absolutely true. Here's a chart that Jim Bianco put out a couple of days ago. This is US weekly jobless claims. Look what's happened in the last couple of weeks. It's bottomed and it's turning back up. And of course in Canada, as I mentioned in my video a couple of weeks ago, the amount of job postings here has turned down the last couple of weeks. And since then, there's been a whole bunch of job cut announcements from a whole bunch of companies. To make a long story short, we need to watch unemployment like a hawk, as I mentioned on here, the last several months. Okay? Plain and simple, all there is to it, watch Mike Martin's video. Enough on that. And for our next story, condos in Toronto are facing a massive supply problem. Oh, wait a minute? Wait a minute? Oh. Next story. This story is out of Burnaby now. Almost 1.5 million Canadians have moved back in with their parents. And most of them are in fact renters. As Mike Martins has mentioned on his channel for years, people have been moving out of the big cities because the cost of living is too high. COVID-19 accelerated this process. People wanted a better quality of life for themselves, a yard, etc. I did a video a couple of months ago where I go more in depth into it from a socioeconomic standpoint. I'll leave a link to that video in the description. My take? The first thought I had when I saw this study was the amount of bidding wars that are happening right now in smaller cities, smaller towns across Canada as people are moving out of the bigger centers. And the people here who moved back in with their parents wanted to get out of the city themselves, but were obviously bid out also. That's the first thought that came to my head. But again, whatever you think, leave it in the comments down below. And my previous video on this will be in the description down below. I now have to jump on a conference call. All I'm going to say, smash the like, leave a comment, subscribe, follow both my accounts on Twitter. And as always, my name is Evan. This is the Chronicle, where that future starts today.